Hello, everyone. I'm Paul Shannock Jr. of Kicks Clothing, and this is episode 4 of Kicks Back, where I interview people of business and entrepreneurship. Today, I welcome Bobbierre Hurd of Breky Clothing. Welcome.
Thanks, Paul.
You're welcome. All right, so we're going to get right into the questions here. I guess tell me a little bit about yourself, like where you're from, your dreams growing up, and kind of how it's led to where you are today.
I'm Bobbierre. I'm 22 years old now.
Yeah.
I just had a birthday, so yeah. I'm from Syracuse. My dreams, honestly, I just want to create.
Okay.
That's all.
Okay. And tell people a little bit about what Breky is, what it stands for, and I guess why and when did you decide to start it?
Okay. Breky, it stands for Bring Real Extraordinary Cool Youth.
Okay.
At first, it was just a clothes brand, but I knew I always wanted it to be so much more. I just never knew where to start or
Okay.
how to start. So now it's basically an artistry. So I'm trying to make a difference in between art, youth, and fashion.
Okay.
So when I say youth, meaning my adapted sports project for kids with disabilities.
Okay.
So
Now, when did you start Breky? I know I kind of
April of 20, what would you say, 2015?
2015.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember you connecting with me through I think what was your cousin?
Yeah.
And you coming in a couple times with your grandma down in the lower part of this building, and I remember it was
Her
small
coat.
a small office space, even smaller than this, and your grandma sat in and watched as I printed T-shirts for you, and it was a little uncomfortable for me but it was interesting.
She
and
just sat there all day.
She just sat there. And yeah, that was the start of it. I remember you came in with your sketchbook and showed me a couple designs, and you said you want to make shirts, and I said, all right, I'll. And you were still at the time in high school at Corcoran, so yeah, it was interesting to see. Now, what's a typical day like for you right now? I know you're in college right now, so how do you balance all of that?
So now, well, typically this semester, I can already tell that my schedule is going to be crazy overload because I'm not done with my last class until 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
And my first one starts at 9 a.m. So I'm going to be in class for basically 12 hours in a day and then 5 hours after that. So typically a normal day for me will be busy but sort of relaxing. I try to find a way around it. So.
And you're at Oswego State right now.
Yep.
And you're studying. Are you getting your master's or you're studying graphic design?
It's a master's degree, but it's called a BFA.
BFA. Okay.
So
yep.
I'm getting it in graphic design. Yeah, graphic design and fine arts. But I'm kind of considering a minor right now.
Okay. Now, you do a lot of your own graphic work, which is cool for me to see because I kind of was doing a lot of the graphic work for you, and it's cool for me to see because I kind of helped you with Adobe Illustrator.
Hey, you helped a lot, Paul.
Yeah, and it's cool now because we were just talking about it, how with in Illustrator, the main tool that you basically need to know how to use is the pen tool. Mm-hmm. And I'm actually really impressed that how much you've kind of learned and how much kind of you've done on your own from basically when you started in 2015 to now 2020, and how you're doing your own design work and you have your own vinyl cutter. So it's pretty cool to see that growth from you. I guess the next question I have is, what has been your biggest, most memorable event for Breky at this point?
Honestly, it would be 3. The first one would be just the adaptive sports project as a
Okay.
whole, to actually see that event happening, and it's like something that you created is to help kids is just like you, because like I have a disability myself, but
So
I'm not as
so what is the adaptive sports program? So you can kind of tell people, explain what that is.
so we put a week long event on where we play a series of winter sports.
Okay.
So we have adaptive sledding, adaptive snowshoeing, adaptive tennis, adaptive power wheelchair soccer, basketball. So what it is we we include kids that has disability as
Okay.
well as kids that does not have disabilities, and youth that are in like city school district, like high schools. So last event, I had 5 kids from Corcoran come volunteer and play winter sports with kids that's in wheelchairs.
Okay.
So with that, they had the opportunity to raise $100 for every event that they attended. So if they attended all 7 events, they could raise up to $700 to put towards the adaptive sports project of in their school.
Okay.
So yeah.
And that hits home a lot for you because you have grown up with cerebral palsy, correct?
Yeah.
So that's a big thing for you, and I think that's really cool to see that you're taking what you kind of created and you're giving back to the community, and something that hits home for you.
Yeah.
So you said you had a couple other memorable events. What were those for you?
Another one would be tied into the Breky Adaptive Sports Project again too, where we're now working on something in Ecuador.
Oh, really cool.
Breky Adaptive Sports will be in Ecuador, so yeah.
Nice. Now, the next question I have is, if you have, what was your first memory of Kicks clothing, or if it's not Kicks clothing, like just of, say, myself?
I got a lot of memories.
All right, well, just share, I guess, the first one that kind of you heard about what I was doing, so people kind of know.
So, you were doing the shirts for my cousin. I had seen your Instagram, but I have known people that had shirts done by you.
Okay, yeah.
Molly Driscoll, Flanagan Brown.
Yeah. I remember all those guys.
Couple of my friends. So they would like come to school and I'd be like, yo, what is that? Like, that's hard. Like, how do you do that? So like, Stu Paul. So then I already knew your name. I have totally just forgot about Instagram. But then my cousin brought you up again.
Yep.
Like, yo, that's the guy that does Flanagan them shirts. I'm like, yeah, I gotta get in contact with this guy because, like, I just need to.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Yep. Now the prop that you brought here, the sweatshirt, I think it's pretty cool. You actually made that in class at Oswego. If you want to kind of share that or share a little bit about that.
So it's just really just a color block hoodie. With just like, I feel like those 3 colors just stuck together. And it's like, I feel like if you have a neutral color, you gotta have a neutral color design, but it has to pop. So that's why I had to incorporate the boot.
And so you actually cut different pieces out of different sweatshirts and sewed that together, which I think is really cool. Like I mentioned to you before, hopefully you could take some video because you're gonna be doing you're taking another class, and that's you told me. So yeah. I'd love to see that. It's not something that I really get into because usually I just buy the shirts and sweatshirts pre-made. But to actually understand how to assemble a shirt or sweatshirt is pretty cool. I think it's something that I'm definitely interested in. So, yeah, when I saw that, I was very, very intrigued by that. I think that's awesome. Now, what have you learned so far by running a business? What have you learned so far with running a business?
You have to be consistent.
Consistent. You have to keep putting out stuff. Probably, what I've learned is the more you put out, the more you're going to get back. So the more you show your fans, your community, the more feedback you're going to get, and the more they're going to pay attention to you. So being consistent, definitely great advice. Great. That's great. And I guess what if you were to give someone advice on running a business, what would you say at this point?
I would say stay true to yourself. Like, like for instance, what I mean by that. So if you're creating something and like it's something that you like, but you think that other people might not like, you gotta be willing to take that risk to be like, I got faith enough in my work that like I feel like other people gonna like the same way that I like it.
Yeah, I definitely agree. You know, when I started Kicks, it was really something for me, and you always want to think, you know, about that, but and you want to be true to yourself because you don't want to cave into, all right, well, I want to make something that everybody's gonna like, type thing. You definitely want to make sure that you're enjoying it because, you know, if you're not having fun, then that kind of you're just doing it to do it.
Cause think about it, trends only last only so long.
Yeah.
People get tired of stuff after a while.
Yeah, it changes, you know, every 6 months to a year, especially with females, you know, it seems to change a lot more than the males come, but you're definitely right. What are your thoughts on the future of Breky, and like where do you see it going in the next couple of years, to, you know, further down the road?
Honestly, I want my adaptive sports project to be bigger than the clothes brand. Because I feel like kids with disabilities, they don't really get as much as opportunities or
Mm-hmm.
or not noticeability, but they don't really get that much attention brought to adaptive sports and people with disabilities. I feel like people with disabilities are like looked down upon because they can't achieve
Yeah.
more than the average person, but in actuality, like people with disabilities will be the future if you really look at it.
Yeah. All right, that's cool. Um, and I'm interested to see, you know, how that goes for you, and you know, maybe I can be a part of that with Kicks because I do a lot with sports, and we can work together. Now, lastly, I always ask everyone, if people are looking to find you on social media, the internet, where are you?
We got Instagram,
Instagram.
Snapchat, Twitter, Facebook, all at Breky Clothing.
All at Breky Clothing, and you also have a website.
Yes, I do.
Okay.
BreckyClothing.BigCartel.com.
All right, there you have it. It's episode 4 of Kicks Back with Bobby Hurd. Thank you, Bobby, for coming in.
And Paul.
Yeah.